say hi, YouTube. All right, so I'm gonna give a quick rundown of my beef with Five Guys since this video is about Five Guys. But basically, once when I was like 12, I was like really hungry after some really strenuous like swimming or like martial arts lesson, I don't remember. And I only had like 30 minutes to get food. So my parents took me to Five Guys. I ordered a double cheeseburger with bacon, grilled mushrooms, grilled onions, barbecue sauce, and they essentially gave me a plain burger with like pickles or something on it. And obviously they gave me the wrong order, but I was really mad because I spent all 20 of my allowance dollars on that burger, and it was not what I ordered. So then I swore to boycott Five Guys forever and never go back. And then my chat got an incentive to order dinner on my behalf, and I was forced to order Five Guys, and they got my fries wrong. I asked for Cajun fries and they gave me regular fries, so they messed up my order twice. And now I'm here at the Food Theorists to feel even more justified. All right, let's go.
I know what you're thinking. Santi, it's corporate greed. We've been through this. And you know what? You're right. I'm not even gonna fight you on that one this time. But if I'm starting the video by saying that, you can trust me when I say that there's so much more to it. And by the end of the video, you're not just gonna understand their greed, you might even be thanking them for it. Hello, Internet! Welcome to Food Theory, the only show that can ask the same question 3 times and get a different answer every time. And here we are, 3rd time's the charm, because we're getting the obvious thing out of the way first. It's greed. Big surprise. Companies like money, and they like making money. Dislikes include things that are not money and not making money. But Five Guys feels like it's become an extreme outlier on the price front. I recently went back for a short and ended up paying $40 for 2 burger combos.
Guys, that's I literally paid that, but for one person. 20 bucks. Do you know how much that is for a kid? Even as an adult, I feel like that's a lot.
It's like, dude, and that is not an exaggeration. I got receipts. Even if Five Guys is more premium than, say, McDonald's or Burger King, that's still outrageous prices for fast food. So what gives? Well, let's look at the usual suspects, shall we? Because, well, at the end of the day, it is the company trying to maximize profits. Seldom, if ever, do they just release a statement saying, we want to make more money, lol. No, they wrap it up in language and excuses that make it seem like they have no choice. They're just business people trying to make it through the day. Forget the fact that they cleared over $3 billion in sales this year. They're barely staying afloat. The first familiar face we come across is inflation, something we've talked into the ground in the previous 2 episodes, but there's another aspect of inflation to take into consideration, especially with the inflation rate thankfully decreasing, at least a little.
Wait, what? When is this video from? 11 days ago. Are you sure the inflation rate has been decreasing? I feel like I'm still being inflated right now. I'm not gonna lie. Okay, well, if it goes down 2.9%, I guess it'd be what, like 90 cents or something?
Little. And that is the fact that while prices will usually go up with inflation, they don't always go down with it. Instead, what happens is the rate that the prices are going up at just slows down a bit. That's why inflation at the time of writing for this episode may be at a 3-year low, but prices are still about 20% higher than they were before the pandemic. But this isn't me hand waving away a $20 burger combo. Absolutely not. No waving here. This is me setting up the unfortunate reality that comes with people finally getting paid what they deserve. Because one of the most important things that goes up with inflation is employee wages. And obviously,
wages are blue. Inflation is okay, this is interesting. So basically it's just showing the percentage change of wages versus inflation. But what I don't like about this graph is like it looks like inflation is lower than wages, so it seems like oh, you should be able to afford your stuff because your wages actually changed by a higher percentage. But like, I don't think that's like how the math works out. Because if your wages were already low, any percent increase doesn't matter if you still can't afford stuff.
That's a good thing. But when inflation goes back down, it's not like Five Guys can suddenly say, JK, there goes your raise. If they did that, you can guarantee the top dogs at the company would get pelted with those free peanuts for the rest of their lives. So instead, they keep costs at the price point they'd been at to pay employees their wages and keep making a profit. And God forbid that they cut even $1 into their profits. Otherwise, their vacation plans might have to change from first class to, gasp, premium economy. But if you're a normal person planning a trip somewhere, make sure to check out the sponsor for today's.
We're skipping this. I'm sorry. I'm sorry for skipping your ad. I don't know what this is, so I can't. Okay.
Meeting the minimum for human decency when it comes to paying their employees what they're worth isn't exactly the culprit for the cost, though. The big talking point you see, and the one their CEO even addresses, is how expensive the ingredients are for their food. So just how wages go up with inflation and stay there, so do the prices that the suppliers of Five Guys' ingredients set. In the CEO's own words, if the mayonnaise guy triples his price, they pay triple for the mayonnaise, and then they'll increase the price of their product. It doesn't necessarily mean they'll triple the cost of the burger because of the mayonnaise, but when it's the mayo, the ketchup, the lettuce, the cheese, and the patties that are getting tripled in price, it all adds up. And it may suck, but at the end of the day, they do need to keep making money because they are a business. I know I made a few jokes earlier at their expense, but the fact of the matter is, if they start hemorrhaging money, they'd be closing shop faster than Mike Tyson signing the contract to fight Jake Paul.
Okay, so from my understanding, this is about supply chains, as in like, I don't know, the supply chain for burger ingredients is really expensive. Or not the supply chain, but like the cost. Is that because of lasting effects of COVID? Or is that because of like new tariff stuff? I mean, I feel like, correct me if I'm wrong, because I haven't really done research into this, but I feel like most burger ingredients would come domestically. At least things like tomatoes, and then beef. I don't think any other country eats as much beef as us, right? I mean, where else are we sourcing this from? This is interesting. I'd like to see a deep dive into like what supply chain issues actually means and like tracing it to the root, because I think like, I don't know, it's kind of, I don't really know what that means. International battles. Yeah, that's fair. I guess like, I'm just wondering, what are we getting internationally? Like, I mean, mustard or maybe mayo. But again, I feel like America consumes the most cows, so like our domestic cow dairy beef industry, I don't know. The government usually wants to encourage a little inflation because it encourages people to spend money. Wait, does inflation make you guys want to spend money? I feel like what happens is I'm like, oh shit, I need to save my money because prices are so expensive. It keeps the economy moving.
Paul for the easiest 20 million of his life. But in researching for this episode, two things stuck out to me: how cheap the rest of the menu at Five Guys is, and how heavy their burger is. Let's start with the menu. Outside of their burgers and shakes, Five Guys is pretty reasonable. The hot dogs hover around an average of $8, while the
How do you guys feel about these prices? Grilled cheese, okay, $6.39, okay, that's fine. BLT, $7.69, okay. Hot dogs. I don't know if I'd pay that much for a hot dog. Maybe it's because I don't like hot dogs that much. It's better for the economy, not necessarily better for the individuals. You know, I've always wondered, like, how exactly you balance that, because the economy affects individuals, but then the individuals also affect the economy, which is stupid, because that's just what happens. But I don't know, because like, who cares about the future? I mean, I'm very much pro, like, chase your dreams, you know, do what you want when you're able to, when you're still young and able-bodied. But then there's this like encroaching feeling of incoming doom that, like, if I don't prepare for the future, like, I don't know how to explain it. It might be like just like growing up with a scarcity mindset sort of thing. $8 hot dog isn't even reasonable at the ballpark. I know, I don't even like hot dogs that much, and I'm like, eh. Oh my god, Costco hot dogs. I fucking love Costco. I just wish I could go and like get smaller bulk items, even though the bulk items are what save you money. Just cause I'm alone. But could be fun to like split with friends or something.
dogs hover around an average of $8.
Unless it's the fanciest wiener ever, that's I have a pretty fancy wiener. Sorry, that was just really funny.
While the other sandwiches, like the veggie sandwich to the grilled cheese, live between the $5 to $7 range. That's not even including the free peanuts I mentioned being chucked at the Five Guys execs earlier, or the infamous extra scoop of fries everyone gets greasing up the bottom of their bag. Seriously, I know Matt and I have had this discussion very publicly already, but what is up with that? Don't get me wrong.
I have some takes about these fries. Okay, it's really nice, you know? It's really nice that they load up your bag with fries. I don't think they even do that anymore, by the way, because last time I ordered from them, only the cup was empty. Oh, sorry, only the cup was full. But also, when they give you so many fries, I low-key get like so tired of eating them, and then they just get cold and mealy, and I just don't even finish them, so it ends up being a waste of food. And I don't like wasting food.
I'm not one to look a gift fry horse in the mouth, but I just hate reaching in and coming out with a fresh coating of grease all the way up to my elbow. Point is, Five Guys is weirdly laissez-faire when it comes to the quantity and cost of their other food items. That is because they'd rather charge more for the hero of their menu and let people think that they're saving money on other things like the fries. I'll be the first to admit, when I got angry about the price of the burger, but realized I had gotten a pound of french fries in the bag, it definitely helped. So basically, they front load the cost of everything on the burger so that they can keep giving out those free peanuts and bag fries. The other edge to this sword, though, is that you end up paying for things that you might not even want to begin with. The best example of this is all the toppings Five Guys provides. I've made it a point in other videos in the past that their customization options are phenomenal, and they're all free-ish. See, the price of the burger not only factors in the extra fries and the peanuts, but the toppings as well. So even if you're someone that likes a plain cheeseburger, you're still paying for the A1 sauce, barbecue sauce, ketchup, mustard, mayo, relish, onions, tomato, lettuce.
This is such a good point. Like, there's no place that would give you the option of free, unlimited toppings unless you were already like paying for it in some other way. So if you're paying like the full price of the Five Guys burger, to them, the worst case business cost would be if you got every single topping for free, which wouldn't taste very good, of course, but like, you're not gonna do that, so I guess they save some money too. Yeah, it's free unlimited toppings. But also, I feel like burgers kind of have a max capacity for toppings before things start to get a little slippery, you know? It gets like hard to, I don't know, eat it as a burger because it becomes like a non-Newtonian slush of toppings and sauce, or I don't know, it like falls apart.
Mushrooms, peppers, and pickles. Yeah, the free toppings are bologna, which is funny because bologna is pretty much the only thing that isn't a topping. In fact, the whole menu being cheap is pretty much bogus because every burger you pay for means you're paying for a piece of the whole menu. So unless you're taking advantage and getting every topping, fries, going for refills, and chowing down on D's, I mean, they're free nuts, you're leaving a lot of money on the table. But it's not all bad news because, like I mentioned, the other thing that caught my eye is the weight of the burger. It is a hefty boy. Each Five Guys burger patty comes in at about 3 ounces for a total of 6 per burger. To put that into perspective with a competitor, McDonald's burger patties on the Big Mac clock in at 1.5 ounces for a total of 3. So the meat in the entire Big Mac is only equal to 1 of the 2 Five Guys patties. Woo-wee! Talk about hitting your protein goals for
Okay, I know you guys love your meat. I know you guys love your meat so much, okay? But low-key, what I don't like about like having this thick slab of meat is that like it's not seasoned, so you're just biting through a very thick piece of unflavorful meat. And I think some people are like, oh, I like the natural beef taste, but for me, I need some extra kick and flavor.
the day. Considering the average cost of ground beef in the US is between $5 to $7, this would mean that each burger from Five Guys has anywhere between $1.8 to $2.6 worth of ground beef in it. McDonald's, on the other hand, gives you between 94 cents to $1.30 worth of meat. And like we've established, the Big Mac prices don't really make 1 and 1 equal 2 here. So basically, with a hamburger with no cheese costing me $10.29 by itself, that means 20% of that price is accounting for just the cost of the meat. That means two things. things for you. One, considering the only other thing that comes on the standard hamburger is the bun, and I doubt it makes up for the other 80%, that's a lot of extraneous costs on a plain burger. But two, 20% is a big part of that final cost. And considering that ground beef has risen over $1.50 in the last 5 years, from $4.23 to $5.89, that's a large part of the final cost that Five Guys has to make up for. Any small fluctuation in meat costs will impact the burger in a huge way. But as long as the price of meat keeps going up, the price of the burger should too. And that's a good thing. Fact of the matter is, so long as they're increasing their costs accordingly, that means they aren't skipping corners or skimping out on meat. Looking at you, Sonic, with your mushrooms blended into your meat. It's been a year since Matt and I did the Frankenburger episode, and I'm still salty about it. Back to the point. I'm not the only one that thinks that the rising prices is a good thing. Chef and restaurateur Andrew Zimmern also shared the opinion in an interview, saying that, yeah, with the price of bacon and beef, if you're paying less than $12 for a burger, you probably shouldn't eat it. So yeah, Five Guys is expensive because of corporate greed. At the end of the day, they have to make money. And not just make money, but have continuous profit year after year to keep functioning as a business in this world. That said, their greed is transparent. They fully acknowledge that they have to keep their margins steady, but they continue to provide beefy patties, pun intended. And so long as their prices adjust for the cost of beef, no matter whether it's an increase or decrease, it means that you can rest easy that what you're getting in that burger is 100% never frozen beef. Same goes for all the other ingredients whose price is fried into the burger. Basically, if their prices stayed the same or even dropped with the rising costs of everything, that would be far more worrying. But hey, that's just a theory. A food theory.
Food theory. Okay, I mean, listen, it makes sense, okay? I get it. Meat is expensive. Everybody want to get a piece of that meat. But come on. The burgers aren't that good, okay? Like, let me name a few places that are much better. Shake Shack's good. Tasty Burger's good. Local burger restaurants. I think Shake Shack's getting a little more expensive too, but at least their burgers are good. Less a theory, more a hypothesis. I mean, I would say it's pretty much a given that corporate greed plays a role in like all this because of how businesses operate. I get it, I do. They're just not that good. They're not that good, and they got my order wrong. If you're gonna be not that good, at least get my order right so I don't have anything I can technically complain about. When do prices ever go down? Never. I mean, like, you guys know those like conversion rates from like, oh, back in my day in 1910, I bought my house for $3. And it's like, where? Is your rage gone? I think I've made peace. Oh, sorry about that. My tissue box. Yeah, I'm with Dio and me. Can we have be Dio meat in her mouth? You want my meat in your mouth? Hey, listen, you gotta pay for that. You gotta pay for that. I have a very fancy wiener, I'll have you know. 5 Michelin star.